Okay, so the next part of the series, all you viewers, watchers, audience members, you're all over the place. But the majority of you want all of it. Option 1, 2, and 3. So I thought about it and I've decided that we will go in chronological order. That means we will go option 3, option 1, option 2. Okay? So we begin with option 3. This particular person begins in 1986, and last time he made contact was summer 2020. The good news is you can read all about this in my currently published book of Men and Maladies. You can find it here on Amazon. There you go. The chapters for Dan Feliz are as follows. You have 5 and 6, The Guy on the Porsche, Love Song, His Gun, Her Ring, Her Animal, Her Madness, and finally, Dan in the very last chapter. There is a sub-story that has to do with His Gun, Her Ring, which I have made a TikTok story out of, so you can watch that at your leisure. You can find the love story, the code, here. Just click on the links and it will take you through. Dan is an Emmy-winning sound engineer. He has a career in surveillance, and he actually contracted with or actually worked for Ted Whiting in the casino space for casino surveillance. So that was how he connected back to Las Vegas, because Dan liked to brag about his connections, his network. So he was sure to tell me all about his connection to the surveillance director of a major casino. Also in 2004 was when he gave me the first hint that he had seen some aspect of my military records. Part 2 of option 3. This is Dan Feliz. William Daniel Feliz. He goes by Dan. I'm about to drop some truths, some major truth bombs. In 1986, I was, to say naive would be a complete understatement. I lived a completely sheltered existence because I was literally a poor little rich girl. Everyone was telling me Dan was a loser, he was lying to me, blah, 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 just go to the Air Force, just go to Canada, just go do something, but get away from him, right? Well, I didn't. And it wasn't until about maybe, I'd say about 3 weeks, 4 weeks before I deployed out to basic training that my mother kicked me out of the house, and so I went to live with Dan, who was living with his parents. And I found myself sleeping on a mattress on the floor with sheets stapled to the wall for curtains. And I was just, this is, no. And I realized what everyone was trying to tell me. So I got on that plane. I left. I went to basic training. I did it. There was no way I was staying. And he knows the circumstances of that period of time before I shipped out. He was either fired from his job or he quit. The job he thought he had lined up was not there. And Everything he had told me he was had fallen apart right before I shipped out. From basic training through technical school and on to Shaw Air Force Base, I knew that every time he spoke to me on the phone, he lied to me. Just like he lied to me when I was in La Cañada waiting for him to come pick me up for a 7 p.m. dinner date and he doesn't show up until 10:30, right? So I knew he had been lying to me. So I honestly felt absolutely no qualms, no guilt about lying to him. He was the one that kept wanting to see me. He was the one who kept calling me. So I let him.